Whether you are just starting out, looking for something new, or just seeing what's out there, the Gamasutra job board is the place where game developers move ahead in their careers. Gamasutra's job board is the most diverse, most active, and most established board of its kind in the video game industry, serving companies of all sizes, from indie to AAA. Here are just some of the many positions being advertised right now. If you are a recruiter looking for talent, you can also post jobs here. Location: Tokyo, Japan. The Advanced Technology Division is the research development department of Square Enix Japan, bringing together experts from the fields of rendering, animation, physics simulation, artificial intelligence, networking, big data, workflow, mixed reality, AR, and sound. We not only research state-of-the-art of game technology, but also contribute to many productions. We are seeking motivated and experienced artists, programmers and technical artists to work with us in Tokyo on our next projects and push the boundaries in content creation. Location: Cambridge, Massachusetts. Currently, we are looking for a junior programmer. This opportunity is for a full-time position in Cambridge, Chicago. Junior programmers at this belief are called on to develop and debug a variety of areas from gameplay to core engine programming. You are expected to learn new systems and projects as you grow as a developer, with support and training from more senior members of the team. Most importantly, you will work to solve problems with the help of the team. We work with leading-edge technologies to make them perform at the top of their capabilities, and will take pride in solving problems others cannot. Location: Peoria, Illinois. The Department of Interactive Media at Bradley University seeks a dynamic individual to join our award-winning and nationally ranked game program, beginning August 20, 19, as an instructor of residence of game design. The successful candidate will be able to teach students game design and the game development process. Professional experience and college-level teaching experience is preferred. Location: Pasadena, California. We are looking to fill a lead quality assurance position. Our ideal QA lead is a self-starter who understands the importance of good QA and can work within a fast-paced agile environment. Our QA lead will work with our developers daily to ensure our systems are functioning flawlessly. Location: London, England. We are looking for a games programmer with a passion for software creation and problem solving with a proactive, can-do attitude to overcoming technical challenges. To succeed in this role, you will need to have a strong foundation in software engineering and enjoy working on a wide range of diverse and challenging problems within a results-focused mission-driven team. Last summer the team at Arcane Studios released Moon Crash, a DLC pack for their critically acclaimed 2017 immersive simulation that trapped its systems into a roguelikegame of 5 survivors escaping from a secret moon base. It was a fresh and innovative spin on the immersive sim. A genre of game Arcane has helped advance Undefined through both pre- and THEDISHONORADS, and today at the D-Led level designer Richard Wilson took the stage to explain how and why it was built. According to him, MONCRASHHN as a common origin story, a number of developers were set up to work on some DLC, while others moved on to other projects, and they decided to try something outside their comfort zone as a way of stretching their legs creatively. When you go from project to project in AAA, a lot of the time, You are solving the exact same problems every time," said Wilson. "This does not offer much in the way of creative growth. Sometimes this can even cause people plateau jump ship between projects." The team decided to have an internal game jam, using pre-system mined assets, and some of the results, which include everything from a Typhon dance party to a tentacle grenade to a working basketball game, made it into what became Moon Crash. How some scrapped primates and an internal game jam led to Moon Crash. The experience was really invaluable. A lot of the team members got to play with new tools and step outside of their box a little bit, said Wilson. Everyone embraced this spirit of exploration. It turns out a lot of the design team were already playing a lot of roguelikes in their spare time anyway. So Moon Crash was pitched from the jump as a roguelike, cross-genre exploration, built out from some features cut from the original game. We explored some ideas for random level elements in Prey that ended up getting cut for scope. So we took that and leaned more heavily into that, said Wilson. Moon Crash seemed like a natural extension of those ideas. Since the team was short on roguelike design experience, they began studying landmark games in the genre to understand how to think about design problems like progression and world persistence between player deaths. Games like Spelunky, Rogue Legacy and Risk Ran. They were basically masterclasses in these other spheres of thought that we had not explored yet, Wilson admitted. Arcane also worked out deconstructedly. It must have seemed genre to try and figure out what the component parts are, hints, snippy emails to read, etc., and whether they could work well in a roguelike framework. Character skill trees. For example, this was something we had on the blog when we were looking at it, and we decided to keep it, said Wilson. A linear, bit-by-bit narrative. That was something we examined and decided it did not belong in the DLC. While sorting out what to include in Moon Crash, Wilson says the studio also tried to preserve as much of what made Prey successful as possible, like Arcane's penchant for effective environmental storytelling. The bulk of our storytelling happens in the environment, said Wilson. This worked really well in Moon Crash, because it takes place in a defined location, and the main character's job is to find out what happened there. We wanted the fresh start of a roguelike, where you can try new things without the fear of mistakes. Player agency was also a key concern for the algorithm, and Wilson admits that while the high-level agency available in Moon Crash is less than what's possible in Prey, given the size and space restrictions, a lot of work went into ensuring the low-level agency players have, to say, choose how to move through an area or bypass an enemy. It's about the same. Wilson also noted that since systemic game design is one of the core pillars of Arcane's design philosophy, the team tried to fill Moon Crash with new design elements, like the hackable, progress blocking, Typhon gates, sprinkled throughout the base, for players to mess with in interesting ways. This is something Wilson says Arcane's audience expects. But this approach to design also has the side benefit of keeping the game feeling fresher for longer as players progress through multiple playthroughs. Wilson provided this visualization of how a player might progress through a big game like Prey, seeing a significant chunk, but far from all, of the expensive assets shown here as dollars on each playthrough. It may look like there are 1,000 ways to get around these things, but in truth the player only has one or two ways in the beginning, added Wilson. Then they gain more tools as they progress through the game, so it sort of means that as a player gets tired of dealing with Typhon gates, they gain more tools for dealing with the gates, and that creates a sense of progression. Here Wilson tries to sum up the design of FR model and CRASHI in a similar slide, as the restrictions on what a player can accomplish in a given run ensure the Wilsima of the game in shorter playthroughs. Arcane's process of fitting the framework of immersive sim design around a cast of 5 playable characters, players start with access to just one and unlock the rest during play, was also tricky, as one of the core selling points of a game like Prey is a player's ability to customize their abilities to suit their playstyle. In Mooncrash, each character has a much broader set of unlockable skills. A design decision, Wilson says, was made in order to help players quickly grasp what a character doesn't have. Each character was focused so the player could make informed decisions, said Wilson. All the smaller trees, they have enough wiggle room for the player to express themselves, but they were also heavily themed so the player could make informed decisions. The studio also hoped that providing multiple playable characters with neural proficiencies would encourage players to try out different playstyles.